Holy shit, Mikasa, just chill. Oh! You okay? You all right there?
It's been a long day.
Yeah, I can only imagine how these people are feeling. Because holy shit.
Yeah, I am now emotionally drained and physically drained.
Yeah. Well, on that note, hello everyone. My name is Abraham, and this is Benjamin Collins, and today we're talking about Attack on Titan Season 4, Episode 27, titled Retrospective on this episode of 2Fast2Movie. Wow.
I just have one question.
Sure.
Why is it called retrospective?
Well, that's actually a point. I can't say.
Oh, is it spoiler territory, or are you just curbing the question?
It's minor spoilers. I don't want to give it away in this review. Like maybe you might be able to piece it together, but you know, we'll talk about it more in the discussion,
okay.
And we'll probably put like a light spoiler warning there, just because it's something that is implied in this episode.
Okay, fair point.
But yeah, opening thoughts. Fucking banger, 10 out of 10. Holy shit.
I never thought that I would watch a sequence where the character of Connie
where I'd go
would just go into full-blown berserker mode.
Go badass. Just like,
and
yeah.
I never thought I would see a sequence where I was like, this man, who let this man out?
Connie's been taking straight W's. Like, honestly, like
you can see it. Well, I mean, I guess we're just gonna have to roll the reaction on this.
Oh my god. Well,
also Bird Titan. Bird Titan.
Oh, well, we'll see you in the reaction.
Oh, okay.
Big picture.
Yeah, right. Reminder, there's Titans fighting people. Yeah. And for once, we're rooting only for the Titans.
Yeah, this is the first time where we're like, go female Titan, go. To kill them.
Well, even Armored Titan, actually.
Yeah.
Although, no, there's kind of like a war crime is happening in the previous. He kind of wanted Reiner to fight Eren, but it just didn't happen.
But it was more like, I don't know who to root for. Now I'm like, these guys.
Yeah, like this is the only safe option right now. Yeah.
Oh
God.
Yeah. Final. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Fuck.
They haven't shown that, so I'm surprised that they put that in here.
We will service it while we fly.
Okay, they own their own hangar.
So they're thinking about going to...
No, you're right. Servicing it on the boat and then finishing it all the way down there.
Yeah, you're okay. Yeah. That checks out. Oh, poor Annie isn't going to be able to save shit.
Yeah, Liberio is...
Yeah, no, I feel really...
done.
I feel just terrible for Annie right now, because there's... Her whole thing is, I just want to save my dad.
Yeah.
You're not going to save your dad.
It's not just her dad, it's also Reiner's mom, Gabby's parents, Falco's mom and dad. Like...
Yeah, no, it's...
They all...
It's real...
Peek's dad.
Yeah.
They're all fucked. They're all dead.
Like, yeah, the entire families of the warrior units are about to get wiped out by Eren in the rumbling. Mikasa on... That is a weird image to have to swallow.
Just Mikasa on Annie, and like talking to her.
And Reiner.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
God.
They're getting fucked up.
I take back everything I said about Reiner and Annie. It was true of him at the time.
Yeah.
But fuck, that's
bad. I mean, there's 10 of them.
Yeah, no, it's...
Even with their skill, like, this is not going to be easy.
Oh,
and...
that's bad.
Yeah, Trade's coming.
That's real bad.
These guys are in the trenches. They're getting ready.
Are we going to repeat the Gabby What?
Falco,
you have to have an intent purpose.
Got a goal in mind. Oh,
Connie!
Hey, let's go, Connie. Oh my god, what is this?
Oh, God.
Look at this action,
He's so
dude.
fucking...
What the hell? Okay, good. I mean, he's top of his class, So that tracks. Oh my god. They're just...
Don't hesitate.
Jesus Christ. They just gotta...
Fuck.
They had to kill every single one of them.
There we go.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah. Oh!
Yeah!
Oh my god, that
was
is
so good. Dude.
Oh, he looks sick.
He's if you get it, he's a bird. He's got like a beak.
Oh, it's because he symbolizes freedom.
Yeah.
Jaegerist.
Also, Falco.
Oh.
Anyways. Just, oh my god. That's so cool.
Fuck.
So fucking cool.
Fuck.
That looks way better than in the manga.
Fuck.
Sniper.
She never miss. She never miss.
She literally has never missed in the show. Never missed a shot. Oh my god, Mikasa. Cutting people. Oh.
Oh.
Oh. Oh. Oh. Holy shit, Mikasa. Just chill.
Oh.
That is...
Oh my god.
Yeah, same. I'd run. If I saw that. Well, no, they retreated.
Just get everyone on the ship.
They're trying, man. They got fucked up.
They did. No, I know. That was a fucking...
They're doing their best.
He really just decided to stay on a suicide. There were other people. That's my boy. Shaddis and Magath.
Yeah.
Shaddis and Magath.
The teachers on both sides. Damn, and that completes his arc.
Yeah.
Shaddis, the whole thing about him being a chosen one. Damn.
Fuck.
Chills.
Fuck.
Are we getting this now?
No.
Damn.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very well put.
Not making me cry at the goddamn end of the episode.
We'll see you in the post discussion.
Yeah, Bird Titan. And you made a very... His name's Falco.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yep. You didn't catch.
Nope.
You didn't catch it.
No, I did not catch it at all.
It was, and also, what's funny is that in the beginning of the season, when they were fighting off the Mideast Allied forces.
Yeah, and they were in the birdcage room.
Yeah, and they were looking up at the sky, like, ironically going like, I wonder, do we have any Titans that can fly? And like, now it's like a bird Titan. So, that's...
If he can actually fly, that would be fucking badass.
I mean,
he's got wings.
He's got claws.
Oh, well.
He's got
they're
talons.
kind of wings. You could... you can't really generate lift with them unless...
But, yeah, like we were saying, 10 out of 10, banger episode. I feel like we just got to jump right into it.
Yeah.
The first thing that we got to talk about is the bad news that the Azumobitos and the Hizuru clan give our heroes. And that is that fixing the plane is going to take a whole day.
Or up to half a day.
I mean, in total, a half a day in the boat, half a day on the
it's still no bueno.
Yeah. And this kind of leads to the realization of Hanji, in which she basically flat out says, Liberio and most of Marley are probably done for.
Yeah.
How do we feel about that?
I mean,
just the revelation alone.
I said this last season. I'm just like, narrative-wise, Marley doesn't make it out of this. Narrative-wise, Eren gets revenge on the country that is fully again, the citizens are not responsible and should not be rumbled.
No.
However, narratively, it always made sense for Marley to have its downfall and see its comeuppance in the same way that essentially
what happened to Eren.
What happened to Eren and everyone on Paradise. Now having it be like, here's a clear reason why this is going to happen, and it comes down to something as simple as we can't service the boat here.
Yeah.
It takes a while to service the boat.
Yeah.
It literally, this is happening because you can't get a car mechanic quickly enough. Like,
and it's like a new invention. Like, they're still like basically working with like 1920s technology.
Yeah, and like it's using the stuff that is the technology in Attack on Titan's all over the fucking place as far as what is usable.
They're using the crystals that they found in the
maneuver year works out of. So, I mean, did I see this coming? Yes. Is it still really upsetting that like next episode we're probably going to see Annie's dad get stomped? Yes.
Yeah, pretty much. We'll talk about more about the unless you had anything else to
talk about. I mean, like, as far as the revelation is concerned.
Cool.
Yeah.
Before we jump on, and we're going to talk about the whole destruction of Liberio and everything else around that later on. Real quick, I did want to briefly shout out Kiyomi Azumobito. She is the leader of Hizuru, or at least the one that is here. I'm a little not sure on like how... if she's like
I think she's a clan head member.
Okay.
Not necessarily it makes sense for her to be an important diplomat.
So kind of like how like in Fullmetal Alchemist, where there's different like leaders of the same like
there might be different members of the same clan that like have diplomatic availability. Cool. Clearly she's related to Mikasa in some way. However, it's
descendant.
Yeah, I don't think that she is the queen because it would be really strange
if she was just here. Yeah. But regardless, it should be noted that in the beginning of Attack on Titan Season 4, when we first introduced her, she came across as a person who was very selfish and, I guess, for lack of a better term, money-grubbing. Really only looking for paradise for their resources, and now willing to share the location of their equipment. I mean, obviously, like, it's dire times, but... it's nice to see that the continuation of character has not been, abandoned.
I do think that the dire times is really the main element that allows for that to take place, though, because I don't see her having done this like out of the goodness of her own heart initially, and she's still kind of responsible in some ways to why this is happening, because she wouldn't allow Paradise to start building diplomatic relationships outside of them.
That's very true.
She wanted to monetize the island of Paradise and still basically keep them cut off from the rest of the world, which is very similar to a sort of China. This is a bad example, however, economically it would be very similar to China, North Korea. So like you would have that situation, and like they would still end up viewing the rest of the world would still end up viewing Paradise as horrible, but now even worse, they're in line with another international superpower.
Yeah, I didn't even consider that they were like blocking off them from trade. Yeah, and that was like the main reason why none of the negotiations worked in the end.
Yeah, because they couldn't even get in contact with other people to be like, hey, we're here to not fight war.
Yeah. Well, it's guilt, and I guess guilt, really. Guilt, and there's no choice.
Yeah, I think no choice is a bigger part in this, but like ultimately speaking, she has a major hand to play in this.
Yeah. Let's move on now to our favorite antagonist of season 4, part 2.
Oh,
I mean, there's
really only one.
Like Eren and him. So let's talk about Floch.
What, you mean Zeke's not on the list anymore?
after his here's the thing, after his what's it called? His backstory and the whole stuff with Grisha in the past, where he was like, "I'm not even sure you're a villain anymore, Zeke. I'm sure you're just like
you're just wrong place, wrong time.
You just have daddy issues, you know."
Yeah,
So...
I mean, accurate though. I mean, he's a. This was another episode where I was like, oh, we're finally gonna kill him, and like again, I'm like screaming when like Hanji just gets her fucking sword right to his cheek and everything, and of course, she never miss.
Yeah, Gabby. Oh
Gabby
my god,
never miss.
This is the one time where you're like, Gabby, thank you, Gabby, you shot him. Yeah, it's Floch is a very interesting character, as you were pointing out, because unlike other leaders of Paradise, and it was very clear in this episode that he inspires through fear.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, he's a fear mongerer. That's his main thing, and that's kind of the MO of like how you have to buy into the rumbling and be a Jaegerist anyway, is based off of fear mongering.
Yeah.
It's the idea of like creating the other and then really enforcing that, like, if we do not have the upper hand, they will all come here and they will kill us.
Yes.
And
here's the thing, and what's very fascinating about it is that it has happened for hundreds of years beforehand. It's not like Floch is like, whereas most like fascist uprisings are like, they like similar to Marley, where they create like a dogma, they like instill like a false perception of another nation. Floch and a lot of the Jaegerists are people who have lived through the suffering.
Yeah.
So whereas Marley is more of a country that is, I guess, more akin to Nazi Germany, where there's no reason to hate the Eldians on Paradise from 4 years ago. Now this is more like, as I was saying to you a while ago, more akin to first world countries going into lesser developed ones, destabilizing them, and creating conflicts, and then that coming back to bite them in the ass.
Well, literally, I was instead. Jaegerists aren't going to like this. Technically speaking, the situation in Paradise is a lot more similar to what happened with the Taliban.
It is. It's exactly what happened with the Taliban.
That's the actual comparison that you can make.
I've made this comparison before on the show. It's literally it's the U.S. and the Middle East.
And that's the other thing. I actually would compare Marley a little bit more to the United States for that reason.
I meant only the...
Well, no, because the treatment of Eldians, because here's the issue, is it's... The reason why the Nazi Germany comparison doesn't necessarily work is because...
There's no group of other Jewish coded characters that the people in Marley are fighting.
Yeah, in Marley, it's not extermination. It's they are making use and exploiting these people.
Yeah.
And not only that, they're also... Marley's actually kind of fascinating because it's not really something that we have seen in real life. No. In the fact that it uses fear-mongering of a specific people around the world in order to also control that specific people into being essentially its war slaves.
It has in Asian Americans during World War II.
Fair. Well, they weren't being put into military, were they?
Yes.
Oh,
that's the whole point.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me, I just got educated on this episode.
That's like part of the whole thing. Like during World War II, it was like a sort of a thing where like you need to prove that you're an American.
Oh no, I did not know that.
Yeah. That's why I'm saying, like, the allegory is not just about Nazi Germany. It's like...
I didn't know that!
Yeah, dude, it's...
Oh, the actual, inspiration that he took from the situation in World War II.
That's what I'm saying. This is why the allegory, I'm saying, like, it's mixed. It's not just, like, coded for Jewish characters. It's both Jewish. It's, like, both sides of the conflict. He's mixed them together. And, like,
there's problematic elements in here because of the Jewish coding.
But simultaneously, he's like, it's like an accident, but, like, on purpose, but... It's a lot more messy than just, like, I didn't know about this. He specifically took the situation happening in America, and also the situation that was happening in Germany,
and then meshed them together into this one hodgepodge of fucked.
Yeah.
Okay, I learned something today.
Yes.
I'm not afraid to admit that at all.
Yeah. It's wild.
Okay, cool. So I'm just gonna double down on my they're the United States sentiment and move on then. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I did also want to talk one more thing because there was a moment in Floch's speech that I picked up on, and as you said, the inspired by fear line. If you notice, and this is such a good way to draw a comparison between him and Erwin, whereas Erwin would hold his sword in hand and would do the dedicate your hearts, or maybe even wouldn't do sword in hand.
It would always be like symbol,
fair. Yeah. Floch did it while holding a gun. So it's almost...
We've seen sword in hand before, but I understand.
But like
the sentiment is
a sword can be... I feel like the
it's
imagery
much more
of...
symbolic of killing the Titans than it is of killing other people.
Exactly. So all around, if we're talking about Floch as a character or as a person, terrible. As a character who has done wonders for the show, especially in part 2, and really testing these characters to their limits in such a short amount of time too.
I know.
He's
only been here for not even like a quarter of the show's runtime.
Yeah. And he is like one of the biggest threats to our characters.
Yeah, it's literally him and then Eren.
Yep.
That is order of operations of like who. Yeah.
So let's go ahead and talk about the bigger fight that's kind of happening, because we landed last episode on Connie and Armin as they killed their friends.
Yep.
And then we get that great shot of Connie like, I just did that, punch out to Annie fucking people up, Reiner fucking people up.
It's looking bad though. That's the thing.
Oh,
they're getting Thunder Spears were bad news for Titan warfare.
Yeah, and they censored the fuck out of that, because in the manga, like you just see like it just cuts back to them and it's like full on both of them, no heads, no arms, no legs, just like nub, like just like,
oh god,
they're like about to die.
Jesus Christ. This whole fight was absolutely gorgeous. The fight sequence, like I love how they didn't start it off with anyone though. As I stated at the top of this show, goddamn Connie.
Dude, Connie's action.
Just like him being like, I'm going in after handing off Armin, and then just that sequence of him going through Also, we haven't seen this kind of fight sequence, a 3D maneuver gear being 3D maneuver gear versus 3D maneuver gear.
The last time we saw this was in
season
3, part 1.
But it was only with Levi that we got a sequence like this.
Yes. Anything close to this. And I love just how it just got like it goes Mikasa like swinging, doing a circle thing. Then Hanji just coming in, just doing another one. Connie, then Jean like covering someone in the back with a gun. It was, this was so good.
This was the best fight scene animation I've seen in Attack on Titan, honestly. Because it wasn't relying... Because here's the thing, when you're animating the Titans, you have these larger... They have to feel large, they have to feel heavy, they can't feel light. So we're very used to just Titans sort of fighting each other, and like we've seen great way that martial arts have been adapted into it. We've seen great ways that sort of animalistic sort of leaping and stuff via the cart and jaw Titan has been adapted into it.
But like they've never felt... I'm not gonna... that's the one thing of Wit Studio I will agree with. They never felt like heavy in their movements.
Yeah, well, I would say that the Titan still felt heavy compared to this. Like, when you have to animate a bunch of just normal people in the contents of the show that can zip around like Spider-Man all the time. Yeah. It is gorgeous to watch that sequence.
No, I'm talking about the Titans themselves. Like, because, like, if you, like, they all, like, take their time to, like, do these, like, slow, big things. Like, even in seasons 1 through 3, like, they were just... Like that fight, the martial arts thing in season 2, that was like super like
was
super
loosey-goosey.
Light. Yeah.
I still think that there was a weight to it for sure. I don't think that Wit was necessarily bad at conveying it.
Just different. Just different.
Oh, it was a different style, but yeah, definitely the Titans in this feel like they are colossal. Yeah. Which is actually pretty good, and it makes a really nice stark contrast when we go to this episode, and it's like, oh man, that is fucking tight.
Yeah. Real quick, I want to shout out the one Mikasa action sequence that you and I both like had a collective like holy fuck moment. And it's when Mikasa goes up to one dude, chops off his head, zip ties him with the 3D maneuver gear, like does a U-turn on his body, collides him into another one, stabs them both together, then uses the thunder spear to blow them both up, and then the rain of blood just pours on her. That's, by the way, most of this action is not in the manga. So I am very, like, I mean, it's like, you know, it's panel art.
Yeah,
like,
it's panel art,
like,
so
mostly,
you can't
like,
really do a ton of like cool fight sequence stuff.
They do some, but like this, all Mappa. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
Real fucking good.
Yeah.
I have the only other thing that I have to say as far as fight scene animation. Fucking Falco. Fucking Falco.
Dude, he looked, and I showed you the picture. He
Yeah.
looks way better in the anime.
No, it's it's like when you see the actual like manga panel of what this was supposed to look like, it's like, yeah,
like it's kind of a bird,
but like, if you told me
yeah.
it was a bird, I wouldn't have assumed. I just would have assumed that was the jaw mask.
Yeah, because he just has like a nose.
Yeah,
and he had like feathers, but like this was
full bird motif. We got the full beak.
So good. It was so fucking good.
It was really, really terrifying, actually, because of how that thing is built when he starts nomming on Pike.
Oh yeah. And you were even talking about this earlier. Like you were like, I'm not sure if he's gonna transform, and you were like wondering if the whole like first transformation doesn't go well, would come back. It did,
came back,
and it's true for everyone apparently that your first transformation.
We finally got some of that information. We are sticking to it now. I swear to God, if I see a Berserk mode Titan by the end of the show, I will be so happy. But if they bring that one thing back,
if they close all this,
it's gonna be the end of the movie is Falco in Berserk mode. Yeah. Going after
that
Eren.
was like the one other. That's like probably the only other plot hole, really.
Yeah, that was like literally my one thing. I'm just like, what? Why haven't we revisited this?
Well, who knows? Maybe they might bring it back. Maybe I lied to you when I said that they didn't. Who knows?
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, regardless, let's move on to really the two heroes of this episode. Like I would honestly call them the MVPs, even more so than Connie and anyone with this cool of an action sequence. Magath and Shaddis.
I was just thinking about this the entire time. Who the fuck is backing them up in that moment? Who blew up that train and took out?
Who was watching them?
Yeah.
It was Shaddis the whole time.
The boy.
And Shaddis has had a really interesting character arc because he started actually he's been in since episode 1.
Yeah.
And it's a character you don't even realize it was him. That's how much they drive home the point that they were like, you know, he was like his whole like I'm not anybody, I'm not anybody special.
Yeah. That
drives home the point because it's like you didn't even know it was him in episode 1.
Nope. It was
him
because he finally does something important. He finally does something that is going to essentially just save the lives of countless people, and he's going to be one of these heroes, one of these chosen ones. And then Magath. Yeah. I mean, Magath is not someone who, because the original thing was that Shaddis went in to the scouts because he had a savior complex. Yes. And then that was ruthlessly awakened. And of course, there's all the stuff with Eren's mom and stuff. Yep. And then he's not doing that anymore. Magath, on the other hand, his entire arc has been sort of realizing what his actual place is with all of, and like I was talking about this with you sort of off screen. Magath is one of these characters that he has had to watch so many children grow up and die so fucking young. Yeah. And each and every one of them, he has cared for in some way. He has wanted to see them succeed. He has grown close to these. Of course, he's like, I just want to see these kids live normal lives. Yeah. And that's what's going to make me happy. And that is fully him kind of coming into that moment of like, yeah, what my country has done to Eldians is wrong. Mm-hmm. And we've seen this growth over the last couple episodes. Yeah. But to finally have him be like, I am fully sacrificing myself for this, but also he's not just sacrificing himself for Eldia. Mm-hmm. as
I mean,
it's put later.
we can
yeah.
talk about this now because it's sort of like the conversation with Hanji.
Yeah.
He didn't do this because he wanted to save his country. He didn't do it because he wanted to save Liberio or Marley, or it's just people, the world at large.
Yeah, and that's really what it just comes down to for him. And
Yeah.
like, also, I will say we put up a poll
Mhm.
earlier on where people's bets were. So I had some inkling that some manga people may have diluted it, of course, but the
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. With Attack on Titan, especially, I mean, this isn't a rule of Attack on Titan, but just narratives in general. People that have like done wrong things
are much more likely to go first.
right.
Which is actually the reason why I was really worried about Connie when the action sequence took off.
Okay, yeah.
So, like, you could probably see it in the reaction, just be going, ah! When
Kinda
Connie
like,
starts
"Oh."
going out, it's just like, this is really good animated. And unfortunately, the way that 3D maneuver gear works is, like, he could literally be in frame by himself, and then another person just comes by and he doesn't have a head.
Yeah.
Like, we have seen those really vicious kills in Attack on Titan so many times.
Well, here's the thing. They've now, like, I will say this. I'm not going to say who lives, who dies, if any of them live or die. But this isn't season 1.
No.
This isn't Petra. This isn't, like, those guys on Squad Levi. This isn't, like, Levi's friends in No Regrets. These are our main characters. So if they die, they will die, like, hopefully gracefully or valiantly.
I want you to say that to the potato girl.
Well, I mean, that was, again, shock value, but also, like, her death had a meaning.
Yeah, that is true. It had a major impact on the rest of the story.
Like, if Sasha, and this is the craziest thing, if Sasha didn't die, none of this might have happened. In a weird way. Because you think about it, Gabby killing Sasha was the catalyst for her to understand that the hurt that she put on other people, like, is wrong. And if she didn't do that, she would have no opportunity to come to Armin, and that means that the alliance would not have been formed. It's like a weird, like, it's a weird thing where you're like, it's not meant to be, but like it worked out in the end. It corrected itself. It had importance.
That is very fair. I will absolutely concede to that.
Yeah. I'm very appreciative. I was very angry when Sasha died, because I was like, this new character who's been in the manga for 4-5 chapters killed a main. I was almost ready to put it down. And then the Kaya stuff started happening. I was like, oh.
Okay. I'm vibing with this a little bit more. So on that, speaking of all this and Magath's sacrifice, we got to talk about the rumbling a little bit more.
Yep, we do, because Rumbling's going to destroy the continent in 4 days.
Yeah, so
I made a mistake. I thought it was Marley, or I thought Marley was the whole continent, and then you pointed out, like, no, Marley's just one piece of the continent.
No, yeah. So, well, they specifically said the continent in 4 days.
Yes.
So we did take a look at a map. By the way, looking up the Attack on Titan map, it's funny.
It is a mirrored and upside down map of the world that we live in.
That is it.
Yep.
And Marley apparently is summarized to be the entire continent of Africa. That's a pretty big fucking continent.
Yeah.
So the other thing is, like, they're gonna stomp over all that land, and they only have 4 days to really get that stopped. It's gonna take another half a day for them. It's gonna take basically a whole day for them to get the airship up, and it's probably gonna take them a day to catch up, or 2 to where Eren is. They're not gonna get to where Eren is quickly at all.
No.
So with that in mind, like, yeah, the entirety of like, Liberio's definitely done, but the entirety of Marley is just as good.
We were talking about this. It's like, because of Hanji's remarks at the beginning of last episode, or the last episode where she was like, I saw steam and, like, them kind of like in the air, like almost close to the shore. Liberio's likely already destroyed, because it was a port city, right?
Yeah, no, it was a port city, and not only that, it's a major military base for the warrior unit.
Yeah.
We know that, like, you keep the warrior unit basically there at all times.
Yeah.
Strategically speaking, it does make sense for it to be essentially off the coast of Paradise.
Yeah.
So Liberio would probably be exactly where everything touches down in the first place when it starts making its way here.
Yeah.
So when we finally see this, that means we're not opening up with faceless. We're not going to be opening up with faceless Marleyans. We're going to be opening up with Annie's dad when we first start seeing where all this shit's going, and Reiner's parents.
Well, we'll have to wait for that for next week.
I'm not. I just know it's going to happen now.
I did want to say also the Warriors now, like in that last thing, Annie has no reason to fight anymore. Annie's parents are dead. Annie's dad is dead. Reiner's mom is dead. Gabby's mom and dad, Peek's dad, like they're all fucking dead, and they're probably still gonna try to stop Eren.
Yeah, it's fucking tragic.
Yeah,
it's really bad, and I think like Annie's speech at the end is really just like what fucking got to me on that, because it's just this. You have no personal stake in this, but you guys have to do it. You're the only people that can do it. And just, she doesn't want to fucking do it.
No.
The fact that, like, it's now recontextualized of can you kill Eren, it's because neither of them want to kill Eren.
No. Like, they're...
And Annie's just getting back into the world, and she's just like, I don't want to be fighting with you guys of all people.
Yeah.
Like, she never wanted any of this.
Yeah. And, I mean... I don't think any of them really wanted this. Like, as much as they wanted to save the world, quote unquote, this is not what they wanted. They never wanted to kill people. Like, or like...
Well, even then, before they knocked down the walls, they were convinced that everyone on the other side were not people.
Yeah, they're devils.
Yeah.
But, like, now that they know the truth, it's like, what the fuck am I doing?
Even Annie knew that beforehand, and Annie was just solely trying to work out an extraction mission. Of course, the thing is, like, when you're throwing it, like, she still would have to defend herself to some extent, and she still would probably have to kill people.
That's why she was traumatized.
Yeah.
Because the first time that happened, which was, again, the only time that she, like, actually did and killed people was during... Well, obviously, like, the stuff in Marley, like, in the flashback stuff.
Yeah.
And the...
Well, this is the first time that she's killing Eldians, who she was originally told that they were not
and
people.
The only time that happened was in the district and in the forest.
Yep.
Two times.
And, well, in the district, she wasn't even going after people.
Yeah.
She was just trying to escape.
Yep. It's fucked.
It's... Yeah, we have the final next week.
It's the last episode. And I will say, I'm not going to say. We talked about this before about the anti-fascist themes and like the problematic nature of Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
Would you say that it has been resolved by the end of the season?
Okay. So this is a two-part answer.
Okay.
The show, as far as author intent is concerned, is resolved on the... Okay, this is a three-part answer. As far as author intent on anti-fascism and the messages surrounding that is very much resolved. This is very clearly an anti-fascist show. The part two of this answer is that if you're taking a look at the anti-Semitic tropes that are in here, it is also very anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
And again, I think that this comes out of a place of ignorance based off of everything that I'm seeing.
Yeah.
And we're gonna be doing a whole other video on that much later.
Mm-hmm.
Now the big thing is that this show has what was previously dubbed by some people the Fight Club problem, or that it can also be summed up by the death of the author.
Yes.
So we're not going to see an end to it. People are like, whatever we're going to see next episode, I'm sure it's going to be fucking horrific, because there's one episode left. We haven't seen the Reveling. Whatever's going to happen, it's going to be bad.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to make it really horrific, really hideous, and it should make you feel...
Because, and I think it's going to be poetic because it's the last episode.
Yeah.
It's like, you wanted this. Like, I feel like this is like, I don't know how people can still be Jaegerists. I mean, I understand like the whole like...
Okay, there's a two-part to this. So usually when this kind of thing happens,
Mhm.
by the way, it is very common. There's a reason why I use the Fight Club problem as an example of this.
Yeah.
Because
It's common.
well, no, because it's actually, this is a really good example because Fight Club, it is supposed to be about the dangers of extremely toxic masculinity and how it can turn and shape really horrific people. I mean, the entire movie is that he becomes a terrorist by the end of it.
Yeah.
What are we watching?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. And the issue is that like it's predominantly men, and it's also predominantly young men.
Yes.
And there is like this kind of ties into this machismo masculinity thing and how it can be wielded. Now that's not really necessarily present in how Attack on Titan is presenting its argument.
Honestly, it's more. I would argue that's fandom. It's anime fandom.
That's exactly where I was going to go with it next. Because I'm sorry, but the anime community has not ever been known for that being something that they have been innocent of.
Usopp can't be black. What? Like, that's like, remember those people? Remember those people who were like that? Like, this person who's from Africa can't be black.
Simultaneously, Usopp was originally drawn with a Sambo type qualities to him.
Anime fans are bad. And I would honestly, if this were in a live action medium,
we wouldn't be having this conversation. No.
There would be no Jaeger. I don't think there would be any.
No, and the people that would instantly be like so chewed out that it wouldn't be a thing. But like, and of course you have to remember that there's a lot of teenagers that watch this kind of stuff, and that's also one of the extents of the Fight Club problem is that you have a lot of very young impressionable people who just take the wrong message because that message is being given by someone that is initially presented as a protagonist in order for you to understand how radicalization works.
And I would also argue like the desensitization to the message because of like just internet culture in general.
Internet culture will immediately, like the conversation we're having right now, I guarantee you someone, like if a lot of people see this, someone's already typing out this is so PC.
Or like it's just a show.
Yeah, like, it's not. It's like it is technically just a show, but
like it's speaking to very very real issue. Like it's a show about the world post World War II, the world that we currently live in now.
Yeah, and there is a modern idea that writers have essentially replaced the idea of what a philosopher used to be. So for a lot of writers, it is very prominent that you are trying to not just tell a story, you're also trying to tell a message and explain why that message is important. And this does that brilliantly.
Yes.
And to say that like, oh, the curtains are blue because they're blue is really a fallacy when it comes to something like this.
Yeah. Well, really good episode. Honestly, I feel like this informed like probably our best discussion yet also. Like I hate to pat myself on the back, but like I'm not gonna lie, this is a pretty good discussion that we just had on this episode.
I've been sitting on like the times to bring these up, like,
and it just kind of happened.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's the penultimate of this series.
Yeah, well, let us know what you thought of this episode down in the comment section down below. And I guess a question for everybody is, are you a Jaegerist? Or whose team are you on? What is your opinion on the fandom?
And also, what is your, like, if you're a Jaegerist, what is your genuine defense?
Yeah, I mean, we don't have many Jaegerists in our, like, comment section.
And usually they type an angry comment and then piss off into the ether, but...
regardless, let us know down below. My name is Abraham. This is Ben. If you liked the video, go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe to the channel because we post videos all the time. And this has been 2Fast2Movie. Aw.